Alright, so section 4.3 is on rate of change and slope. So, there's two things we need to know about rate of change and slope. The first one is that your rate of change is always your change in y divided by your change in x. Okay, so you're probably going to want to write that down. Rate of change is your change in y divided by your change in x. Alright, so if we look at example 1, we're talking about years and cost. So remember, our top value is always our x value. Our bottom value is always our y value in our table. And we want to find our rate of change. So I'm going to take my first number and my last numbers, and I'm going to find my rate of change. And your rate of change is always y divided by x. So I know that for my y values, my last number is 42, and my first y value is 25, divided by my last value, which is 2008, minus my first value, which is 1988. And then we just simplify that. So 42 minus 25 is 17, and 2008 minus 1998 is 20. So my rate of change is 17 over 20. Good. I like easy. Let's do one more. So you always take your first numbers and your last numbers. Oh, y's. So y's first. So, okay. Okay, so what's 175 minus 550? Anybody?
Negative 400 something.
375. Okay, so negative 375, and 30 minus 1 is 29. Perfect. So my rate of change is negative 375 over 29. Okay, the other thing that we need to know about slope is that slope is always rise over run. Okay, so we always look at our rise, which deals with our y-axis. So rise is how much we go up or down on our y-axis. And if we go up, it's positive. If we go down, it's negative. Okay, so that's our rise. Our run, we're always looking at our x-axis, but we're always running to the right. Okay, so we're always looking at our x-axis, but we always go to the right. So we look at it, we look at a graph like we read a book from left to right. Okay, it's just like as if we read a book. Okay, so if I look at 3, I'm trying to find my slope. I know that my slope is my rise over my run. Okay, so this deals with my y-axis, this deals with my x-axis, and I always run to the right. So I look at how much I need to go up and how much I need to go over to get from one point to the other. So how many squares do I go up? 2, and how many do I go over? 1. And I go up, so it's positive, and I go over, so it's positive. So then positive 2 divided by positive 1 is 2. We're dividing. 2 divided by 1 is 2. So my slope would just be 2. Okay, so if I do the same thing on number 3, then I have 0, negative 3s on my graph at down 3, right? Okay, and 5, 5 is over 5, down 5, which is right there. So to find my slope, I'm going to need to go down and over. Down 2, so down is negative, over 5, perfect. So my slope ends up being negative 2 over 5. Yep, or you could make it a decimal, which is 0.4, negative 0.4. But it's easier to see slope if it's a fraction, so I recommend leaving it a fraction.
I know what one is.
Okay. Oh yeah, she said she was going to be gone today. Alright, and then the last thing that we need to know about slope is how to identify if it's positive, negative, 0, or undefined. So if it's going up from left to right, then we say that it's positive. If it's going down from left to right, we say it's negative. If it's a completely flat horizontal line, it's 0. And if it's a completely vertical line, then it's undefined. Okay, so anytime you see a flat line, you know it's 0. Every time you see a vertical line, you know it's undefined. So if I want to find the slope of this line, what would be the slope of this line? 0. Okay, and this one? Undefined. Perfect. Okay, we're going to do a few more of those. Alright, so what's my slope of this one? Negative, because it's going down. Okay. And that one? 0. And this one? Undefined. And not like this one. Positive. Okay, so that's what you guys are going to be working on today. We're going to do page 248, 1 through 19.